Hey guys, this is Jella and welcome back to my channel. We are now part 7 in our Korean town series, and for this part, we will be making a photo studio and clothing store in our shopping district. If you want to build this too, then keep on watching. We still have a lot to go, guys. I wanted to really take time concentrating on each buildings, and right now we will be making a photo studio beside our Starbucks coffee. So I used this large painting, which we have been using for our logo signages. I realized that it takes less plot data having a decal sign rather than custom handwriting using the structural beams. So we will try to use decal signages for our shops. And again, I will be adding the decals that I made in the description box. If you have watched the previous part where we made the Starbucks, I already placed down this 4x4 square building. And make a partition of 2x2 rooms at the back wall. Then change the texture of the upper floor to brick wall, but leave the bottom walls because I will be changing the texture later on. I added a ceiling trim and small thin pillar on the corner so that there would be a separation design from the first floor and second floor of the building. Because this is a photo studio, we only have a small space inside, and so I will use a sliding glass door so that customers can come in easily. Now rescale your logo signage and place it above the door. Since I won't be adding an extended basic shape for the signage, make sure it is the same size as the door. The color theme I am using for this photo studio will be shades of pink. Most photo studios that I have seen, and especially the self-portrait studios, are more feminine, and so I decided to use different shades of pink. This is what I mentioned earlier, that I will be changing the bottom walls and just made it full pink like the ceiling trim and pillar. I think it looks better than leaving it white. Anyways, just out of flooring on the second level, and for the roof, I used the slanted roof. Adjust it a bit, not too wide so that the roofing wouldn't go inside the other buildings. Before you add ceiling trims and color the walls, exit build mode first so that when you color the walls, it would be separated from when we added it earlier. If you have been in a self-portrait photo studio, they have this cute arch opening for the photo area. And so I used the arch window and rescaled it using the medium grid line. Then we will add a curtain and just use the cheap one and recolor it to any shade you like. I used this sand red color since it still looks like a darker shade of rose pink. Then duplicate the arched window and place it on the other room as well. This photo room is just a 2x2 room, which is how it usually is since you can only fit 1 to 5 persons, but it depends if a group can fit in the camera. Some do group photos, but mostly couples or friends usually go for a self-portrait. Anyways, I added this counter for the staff since there still has to be someone managing the studio. So this is where the staff is. They are in charge of the security in here and make sure everything is still in order in case the machine goes off. I wouldn't add an expensive gadget in here, so instead we will just place a clutter in this counter. I also added this cash register, and let's just say that this photo studio uses a card pass where they pay first of the staff before using the studio. If you have been to a self-portrait studio, there are some free stuff or head accessories which you can use for your portrait. So I added this ladder shelf, and this is where I'm gonna place some clutters. They usually have a lot of cute hats, but since we don't have a lot of option, I used the octopus as a pretend cute hat. Just rotate it so that the back plain side faces the front and just color it to your liking. Then add some sunglasses, and I just colored it randomly. That will be our accessory storage, and I placed that near the staff so customers would place it back neatly. As for the empty wall in the middle, I'm gonna add a photo wall. So I used the wire board and rescale it so that it can fit the photos. You can resize the poster, but that size is fine with me. Now on the other side, we will add a small table with mirrors. This section is where customers can retouch their makeups and hair before going inside the studio. I used this round illuminated vanity mirror since it fits the cute aesthetic vibes of our photo studio. This also gives off bright light, so make sure to adjust the color lighting if you don't want it to be too bright. I also added a hair straightener and some hair combs for roleplay purposes. I'm still trying my best not to add much clutter as I can so we can save a bit of plot data. And as for the lighting, I used the elderly ceiling lamp. Now for the photo rooms, there are different background colors, and I will just use a pink and cloudy gray background. This is the most common background color for self-portraits, and also super cute, right? Anyways, I added a wall trim on this wall and made the texture the same as the accent wall texture. I'm also gonna add a carpet by the entrance door and color this however you like. Okay, now we will be making the most important part of the photo studio, which is the machine. We are just going to make a very simple one using basic cubes. So this is our simple photo machine, and I just color it white to match the decal that I used for the screen. Then change the decal first before adding it on the studio so you can see how it looks like. I'm placing it on the left side wall and make sure it is placed in the middle. I love how simple it looks like, and now I wanted to actually add one chair that you can sit on while having your portrait. Usually you have the option to sit or stand. So I'm gonna add a chair on one photo room and then leave the other plain. I'm just gonna add a few decors outside and also add this floor sign for advertisements. I also colored this pink so it would match our store. And I forgot that I still haven't done the rest of the building, so this is me just filling up the second level with windows because I won't be adding anything above. I also didn't want the outside part to be seen, so I closed it off with the same fence we used before and extended it until the end side of the shopping district area. I also added a trash bin area on the back side, so there would be no entry point on that side. So that is our photo studio. Now we will be making the clothing store, which is SPAO. This is a famous Korean clothing brand, which is like Uniqlo. So we are making this building 3-story high since the Starbucks is also 3 levels. And again, I'm going to use the large painting decal for the logo signage. I'm going to color the wall of the building the same as the color from the logo, and since I cannot find the exact color, I just made a custom color. Now place the logo on the top floor as the building signage. Let's add windows here because we want the customers to see what is inside the store. I use this cheap large window and resize this almost the height of the wall. Make sure to adjust the width of the window so we can fit 2 more windows on each side. We will be adding 2 windows on the first level, and I'm going to leave the left side empty for the poster ads. Now add a wall trim and color this the same as the window frame. I use the dark red shade we have. Now place the windows on the front side of the building. I'm going to use the large painting and resize this like the size of the window, and this will be the poster ads of our store. Now for our entrance door, I'm going to use this commercial sliding door. I wanted to add an escalator, but because of the size of our building, we cannot fit one. So I used the staircase instead. And for the flooring, I used the polished wood plank texture in hurricane gray color. I didn't opt to use a tile here since I wanted to make this store close to the original theme of having a wooden flooring. Then I colored the back wall the same red color as our exterior. I'm going to make a signage logo on top of our entrance door using the horizontal plank. Make sure to place it on the door so that we can just copy it next time we use this commercial door. Then I place a basic cube and resize this to fit the size of the plank and decal. Color the cube and back of the decal painting to match everything. The top of the building will be for posters, and I use this large painting and rescale to fit to big poster ads. Now add a floor on top to close of the ceiling of second floor, and then add a flat roof. As of now, I won't be adding anything on top since we are still managing the plot data usage. But if ever we completely fill this town, I will be adding more if there would be extra data left. Anyways, I just colored the walls inside, and since we have a smaller floor area, I will only add 1 fitting room. So on this right corner will be a small fitting room. And I always use this clear window frame since it is cheaper than a simple door frame. I will be moving this frame later to the left since I would be adding some clothing racks on the side. As for the stairs, I just copied the flooring and then used this glass fence for safety handrailing as well as on the second floor. Now we will add a cashier counter, and again, I will just use the plain counter. I added this clothing rack near the fitting room since some clothes that are being fitted are really not bought. So the customers would just leave it there so the staff can place it back on the right shelf. I copied the custom cash register we made and then added some paper bags on the side. I'm adding a stool here for the staff, but usually there isn't one. And also adding some boxes on the corner. Let's pretend that those are newly delivered clothes for display. I also added a long poster ad using this square painting. Now for our small fitting room, I use this long wall mirror and just rescale this to make it big. Since I will be moving the door later, I will also move everything that I placed here on the other side. I also colored the walls to white since this is a fitting room. And we actually have this new item from the update, which is a hanging coat. Super cute, so I added that in the fitting room. Now we will be making a simple mannequin. And I'm going to use the smooth cube for the legs. I placed it on top of a placemat so it can be copyable later on. I also wanted to make the measurements right, so I did this near my avatar. Okay, the legs are looking fine, so now add another smooth cube for the torso. And I'm just making sure that it is placed in the middle so that when we rescale the torso, it would be equal. I think that is looking alright. So now add a vertical cylinder and resize this to make it smaller as a neck. And then add a beveled vertical cylinder for the head. Resize this at least the size of the avatar head so it wouldn't look too big or too small. Now color the pants and I will make this look like denim jeans. And for the top, let's pretend that it is a plain shirt. I used a custom color for the skin of the mannequin since I don't want to leave it gray. And since we don't have the transform tool Gamepass, I'm going to use this pillow as an arm. Since we can use the transform tool for free on pillows and blankets only, I'm too broke to buy the transform tool Gamepass, so I always use pillows whenever I want to adjust something. You just have to place it on top of the cube so that it can still be copyable later with the whole mannequin. So for those who are new to building or doesn't know this, you can use it for free just on pillows and blankets. I'm gonna add a vertical cylinder as a stage ramp for the mannequins and then place it by the window so it can be displayed for outside customers. I'm gonna move this counter to the right side because I want to place the mannequins in between windows and the cashier counter was being blocked out earlier. So at least the customers can pay up front without the mannequins too close. Anyways, don't forget to recolor the other clothes of the mannequin to make it look different from each other. The first mannequin is wearing male clothes and then the other is female clothes. That's pretty much all I can fit here since I still want to make this floor look wide and not too cramped. I'm also adding this end table where we will place folded clothes. And of course, we will be using the folded towels as a pretend shirts. I changed the color of the clothes so that the display will be different colors. I used dull colors to make this really look like SPAO. I inserted each tables on the sides of the mannequin display so that it will be visible from outside. I placed 2 clothing racks in the middle and these are the new products displayed for summer. I'm also going to add a table in here for more folded shirts. So I copied the clothing rack we have from the middle section, and I'll just add 2 racks on this empty space below the stairs. And as I mentioned earlier, I moved the fitting room door since this clothing rack is blocking the entry. I will move the items inside the fitting room later. So for now, I just recolored this clothing rack, and I hope in the future updates, we can make this clothes in different color. Like not make it all of the same one since we cannot change the colors of the other clothing rack with random colored shirts. Is it just me, or are you also bothered with having the clothes in the same color? Anyways, going to the second floor, I copied the mannequin display and of course we will add 2 in here. I decided that I can't add many more mannequins since the plot data is going to be a problem with all the things I still want to add in this town. Anyways, the right mannequin is wearing a denim collection. And then this one is the pajama collection. Now let's add some display clothes, so I use this industrial closet since this probably looks the closest one for this type of clothing store. And I'm making this look like denim jeans and pants area. That's why it's all blue. I changed this closet to a different color since this will be for the summer season area for male customers. I moved the mannequin for the denim collection near the denim area. And we will place a modern open shelf counter on the middle. We will place here the folded clothes. I actually haven't been to SPAO since there isn't one in our country. But we do have Uniqlo, and based on what I saw from the photos, it has some similarities with regards to clothing style. So I tried to make that an inspiration of where to place down clothes. I also added the pajama pants on the bottom shelf, and you can color this however you like. I just used dull colors to make this look neutral. I love how it is looking right now. I copied the square painting frame and placed on the counter since I will be adding some posters. I copied this closet and placed it in the corner since that was an awkward space, and the closet was a right fit on that spot. I also made this wall turn to red and placed the logo of our store. Okay, so we have this middle area empty, and I was thinking what storage shelf should I add? And so I decided to use this open cabinet and color this the same as the closets we have. I copied the clothing racks, and we will place 3 by this window. The middle section was still plain, so I added this ladder shelf, and it was a good choice to add this here since it created a leveled angle on the side. I love how this folded clothes looks like, so I added some more, and hopefully our plot data won't be too high. I colored the ladder shelf the same as the closet shelves we have. I was thinking if I should move this cabinets on the center so that there would be a walk space on both sides. So I did move this open cabinet and placed another ladder shelf on the other side. It actually made the middle section look better than before. I added a full mirror on the side by the stairs, since that is the only space that isn't really bothersome. And as for the lighting, I used this sleek ceiling light on the corners of the store, and then I will add an industrial light in the middle section. I think I used linen for the bulb color, so it wouldn't be too bright. I copied the mirror from the fitting room and placed it on this empty wall so that the customers can also look at their fits in here. Just adding some more framed posters and part 7 is done. So right now our town is costing $361,320, and we still have more than half to go. Anyways, we actually did 2 stores for this part. Let's go to the photo studio first. So I wasn't able to record this, but I just added the hanging poster signage of the photo studio just like how we did the other signages. And we finally completed this street with full buildings. So this is our photo studio at the back. Very girly and pink, right? We have the neon sign which you can change, and then the logo that I made, and all this poster decals will be in the description box. So we have the front desk for the staff on the left. You will have to pay first, so you will receive a card which you will insert in the photo machine. I just added this toy cash register. And on the side is the free head and face accessories you can borrow for your photo shoot. Just please bring back neatly after using Hihi. And then we have the photo wall over here where we display some of the photos from the old customers. So cute, right? Over here we have an area where you can retouch your makeup and fix your hairstyle before entering the studio. There has been a lot of self-portrait studio in our country, and the line is so long that you can definitely do your makeup and hair while waiting in line and finish it still lining up. Anyways, after you are done with your look, head down the studio where you want to take your portrait. So here we have 2 colored backgrounds. First we have this pink room. Don't forget to close the curtains so no one will look at you. Feel free to pose however you like. And let's go to the other room. This one I added a chair if you like to have a portrait sitting down. So this is our custom photo machine that we made, and there is a light above the camera so it would be bright. Having a chair here feels more like a formal photo than quirky look. So yeah, that is our small photo studio in our shopping district. We fenced off this area, so if you are making this in your plot, there won't be anyone coming to this side. Okay, now we will tour the clothing store that we made in front. I love how this store turned out. You can see the mannequins we made displayed by the window. Looks super cute, right? We have the logo of the clothing brand SPAO. I also changed the decals of the poster ads above. I super love how the inside of the store is very visible from this angle. You can definitely window shop. I also added this sale poster ads in front. This is the first floor of our shop. Looks very neat and clean. We also have here the new line of clothes for summer. Over here is the cashier counter. I only added 1 cash register since this is a small shop. We also have more clothes over here for your summer getaway. And over here is the fitting room. We only have 1, so we ask for your patience as you wait for your turn. So that is the first floor. We also have more poster ads on the wall. Now let's head upstairs. And we have here a large mirror where you can take your mirror selfie, but don't buy anything, hihi. Anyways, over here we have more summer clothes for men, and then denim jeans collection. This one are plain inner white shirts and more shirts for men. I made half of the side for men and women. So going over here we have the women's section, and this are shirts as well. We have here some blouses which is not on sale since it is from the new collection. And over here is the pajama pants below and long sleeve shirts. I love how the neutral color is. So this is the second floor view without the buildings in front. Anyways, that is the end of part 7 in our Korean town series. Thank you guys so much for watching. I would appreciate your support by giving this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also click on the notification bell so you won't miss the latest videos I upload. Help me reach my goal of 10,000 subs. This would help me a lot, especially in making future videos for you all. Have a wonderful day, afternoon, or night. Love you all and take care. See you on my next video.